When you create a formula in Excel, it uses what's called relative cell references. And this means that if you move the formula, it's also going to move the cells that that formula refers to. So they'll be in the same place relative to where the formula is. If I copy this cell, which contains the formula, adding 2 and 2, and paste it into the cell right below it, you'll see that it changed the cell references to include A2 and B2. It shifted everything down. But what if I actually wanted to add A1 and B2? What if I wanted A1 to stay the same no matter where I copied the formula? The way to create an absolute cell reference is you double-click to see the formula and you type a $sign before either the letter or number or both. So in this case, I'm going to type a $sign in front of the A, and I'm also going to type a $sign in front of the 1. And let's see what happens now if I copy that formula down. If I double-click on one of these formulas, I'll see that even though I moved the formula down, it's still referring to A1. Same here. Still referring to A1. Those $signs make that an absolute reference. So no matter where I move this formula, anywhere on the spreadsheet, it's always going to refer to A1. The second cell I refer to in the formula, B1, since it doesn't have the $signs, it's still a relative reference. So as the formula moves around, you'll see that it is shifting that cell reference to be in the same relative location to the formula. You can also choose to have just the letter or just the number be the absolute reference. If I delete the $sign in front of the 1, for example, it's going to keep A as the absolute reference, but the 1 is going to be relative. So if we take this formula and copy it over here, and then double-click to see what cells it's referring to, you'll see that it kept the cell reference in the A column, but it allowed it to move down to row 2. So if you want your cell reference to be totally absolute, both row and column, just make sure you have a $sign in front of both the letter and the number. A useful application for using an absolute cell reference is if I want to show each of these subtotals of each of our categories as a percentage of the grand total of what we spent. I'm going to start by entering a formula here. I'm going to divide this cell by the grand total down here, and that'll give me the percentage. But if I copy this formula down one cell, I get an error message because it's now referring to a blank cell. The way to solve that is to make this an absolute cell reference to the grand total cell here. So I'm going to put a $sign in front of the D, a $sign in front of the 60, and now if I copy it down, you'll see that even though it moved this cell down, this one's stuck in place, so it's still referring to the grand total. And I can copy this formula all the way down, and it will give me percentages of the total.